Got a fire in my soul, yeah, it's burning bright. Guy band, he told me just to follow the light. Well, I heard the people singing with all their might. So I hit the ground running, and I ran all night. And we sang, run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Well, I ran into my family, and I ran into my friends, and I ran into people that I didn't know then. And I said to them, hey, I could use a hand. And then I ran and I ran, and I ran and I ran. And we sang, run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. They say it's dangerous out there, but not if we're all here. If we're together, we can run without fear. They say it's dangerous out there, but not if we're all here. If we're together, we can run without fear. Well, the children and the elders and the strangers and the neighbors and the doctors and the teachers and the farmers and the bakers and the scientists and builders and the singers and the players and the buskers and the dancers and the dreamers and the painters and the coaches and the helpers and the artists and creators and the yogis and the healers and the preachers and the changers and the people and the planet and the forests and the rivers and the mountains and the oceans and the future and the vision. And the buskers and the patience and the future and the vision. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run,
good genes too. Good morning. Good morning. I see Miss Jersey. How you doing? Good morning. Good coffee. Good vibes. Getting ready to get my day going. Go have fun cutting your grass. It really ain't too bad. I mean, I don't mind doing it. I don't mind cutting it, man. I don't like it when the tractor starts having trouble though, and you got to fight with it, or when you got a weed eater that you can't start, that you pull on for 30 minutes before you get going. That's the ones that, or more, or never do get it started, and you're wore out and ain't done nothing but try to start the weed eater. Yeah, I have that moment. I have that moment a lot. Actually, we got some pretty good equipment, so thankfully, when you pull the cord, it starts for you these days. I hope you have an outstanding Labor Day weekend. Be careful on the roads. Me and my boy and my daughter, we went back. It took her back home. I went and got her yesterday. It was my sister's birthday, and we took her back home. And there was definitely some cops out, definitely out on patrol, which is cool. But yeah, be mindful, be careful, have fun, enjoy your weekend. I'm just if you haven't already, go over and check out our new page with for Guy and Shine. It's just where everybody can be in the same chat at the same time, Miss Jersey. So just you know what I mean, or excuse me, Miss Steph. I didn't mean to call you Miss Jersey, but yeah, it's a shared page with me and Guy and Shine and a little sweet tea. Uh, at Guy and Shine, it'll take you there. But I'd appreciate it if you come over and that's where we're going to be when we're doing our live streams together. That's where the community will be able to gather together. Do I? Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I guess I don't know exactly what Trump supporters look like, but you would be. I'm not particularly right or left leaning. I'm just a man that makes my own decisions, and right now, I can respect everything the man's been through and the nonsense that I can just see from a common sense standpoint. Um, I can't say I can go either. I can't say I can't go with either side, but the side that has the stuff in it that kind of makes the most sense, that's usually the way I lean. But I'm sure that it took a lot to figure that out. Hence the birthday card that Don sent me. I knew that that would draw some people in. You know, actually, that was just a good little card I got. I thought it was kind of funny. So, yeah, just on the shelf. But to each his own. I'm not really, uh, not really a hardcore on either side, to be honest. I look both sides the best I can, and the one that nothing's ever going to be 100% your way. And that's the part. That's what's wrong with our representatives these days is they go there thinking that their job is to take a stand. No, if you live in the Bronx or you cover a big neighborhood, well, there's a lot of different kind of people in there. And when you see them voting down one party line, then you know they're not representing the people that they're there to represent because you represent a big neighborhood, big bunch of people. I know, right? I was like, I was trying to think, well, I mean, okay, I guess that's what I guess I am what one looks like from that standpoint. I mean, I did like my birthday card. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, nobody's ever gonna have 100% of what they want. But when you see you're representing, they're not leaders. That's another word I think we need to take out of our mouth. These people aren't leaders, they're representatives. We, the people, are the leaders here in the United States. And, you know, when you see your representative, whether it be Republican or Democrat after their name, if they vote right straight down a party line every time, then they ain't doing their job. They're full of crap and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's just the way that is. And I don't care what side that is, Republican or Democrat or independent. If you're voting right straight down one party line, you ain't doing your job. Your job is to go there and try to negotiate the best for the whole of your constituency. Not go up there and take a stand. Nobody cares about your feelings. That's not what you're paid to be up here to. You got a psychiatrist and a mom and dad and friends that can care about your feelings. You need to do your job, which is to represent your constituency. Some of those people aren't going to have things that you personally agree with. Doesn't matter. You're supposed to represent them and you're supposed to do your best to negotiate both sides. You're supposed to do that. That's your job, is to find that middle ground somehow. That's your true job. And when you're voting right straight down a party line, you're not doing that. Yeah, indeed, indeed. And that goes, it's just like, well, it's just like the old saying with children or anything. Give them an inch, they take a mile. Indeed. Indeed. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. And I believe in calling a spade a spade. When you're not doing your job, then you should be called out on it at any level. What do I think about the cartel? I think it's an organized crime situation and they use people's weakness to make money. And that I can never get down with. I don't care about where they come from or how poor it is there and what they need to do to make money. I don't care about that, man. I come from one of the poorest areas in the world, but I ain't got to traffic people. I ain't got to rape people. I ain't got to sell people. I ain't got to sell body parts of people or maim people or sell drugs to people that kill them. No, man. I do what I got to do, but it ain't that. So, no, I do not support the cartel. I think anybody that would sell another human being, whether it be a child or a woman or a man or whatever it is, if you're low enough to sell a soul, a body to another human being and not know what they're going to be, what that treatment of that person is going to be, you're a heartless individual and you should be stoned to death, in my opinion. I think we ought to be able to give you a public caning, see if we can't knock some bow out, and then go on and end that life for you, rid you of the space you're taking up. It's kind of how I feel, but it's not about my feelings. If I was a representative, it's not about my feelings. But you asked me, so that's how I feel about them. I don't think that that's right. But I would, I mean, that's one of those things. I'm thankful I don't have to deal with that mess, and that's what I think it is. Give them an inch, as Joe said. To give them an inch, they take a mile. Do you know that I don't know that, but I have heard stuff like that. I'm not a real conspiracy theory kind of guy. I kind of go on what I can put my eyes on and what I can actually find out. And I don't just particularly go with one source or with AI. And I also believe my lying eyes. If I see it, that's what it is. But I have heard that, and you know what? It would not surprise, man. There's dirty people everywhere. It's not just that. It's not because they're in whatever country they're being a cartel in. It's got nothing to do with the nationality of the person. It's people. It don't matter what language. There's evil. There's bad castings in every handful of corn. You're not going to get a a corn stalk. You're going to have some bad castings in there. Well, that's kind of how I see that fringe of society for people. I don't judge those whole people by the actions of that fringe of their society. I don't do that. But I have heard that, and it wouldn't surprise me none. I mean, it would, because there's bad people everywhere. There's maliciousness. That's what people thrive on. Um, I do something on there. Anyone with a brain knows that the U.S. government is the biggest syndicate crime organization ever. I feel you on that. I mean, I guess it could be looked at in that regard. Um, if you wanted to, you know, if you wanted to start looking at some of the nonsense that I've personally seen in my country and in other countries, we've allowed some real silliness to go on, and it's a shame. And it starts with our justice system. When you take the blindfolds off of Lady Justice, then this is the kind of stuff that you get. It's irreprehensible. I feel you. I mean, you don't have to get not deaf. Uh, you know, I'm just a common man. You know what I mean? I can barely afford to pay my bills, so I don't have time to be up in Washington or wherever I could be to actually do the research and figure out the things that's going on. I don't have time to, overwhelm myself with things I can't do nothing about. If I had some type of way of doing something about it, maybe I'd worry about it. But I'm not deaf by no means. It took you time to type that, so I know that you didn't mean it in a cool way. Unless you meant definitely do the research, and in that case, I'm sorry I'm taking it that way. I think you meant it definitely, which I apologize, but I don't know that, Joe. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying is I can't. I don't. I wish I could. I wish I had the means to be able to do some of the investigative research, but I I don't believe nothing I see on the phone. I don't believe nothing that I hear. I don't believe 100% of anything that I hear. Like if I can't see it, witness it with my own eyes, then it's like I kind of just. It's like I can believe it. I'm not going to say that it don't happen and that it ain't happening, but I don't have the means of finding it out to be able to call people out because that's what I want to be able to do. I'd like to be able to call them out. Hey, brother Gen X, I see you, man. I see you. Good morning, man. Yeah, we got into some politics. Somebody said something about whether I look like a Trump supporter. Me and Joe, I took Joe wrong. I thought it was that other dude typing, and I didn't see your name. I'm sorry about that, Joe. I know what you're saying. Do the research. Yeah, and I believe in that. But I also believe in research has to be beyond what we can Google or beyond. I believe that true research, to be a true reporter, to be a true researcher, you have to go lay eyes on things. You have to go physically do the work, put the sweat in. You have to go get in the dirt in order to say that you research something. Now, I can say from a public standpoint, I can go look up what the public is allowed to know. But if we're talking about the kind of powers that be that we're referring to, then we're only going to be letting them what they say or what they allow us to know. So you would have to physically try to infiltrate and get information that isn't publicly available because I think it's all skewed in its own way. Shamefully enough, I think it's all skewed. He said it clear that the U.S. government, specifically CIA, wants them cartel to exist so just to control Latin America. And I'm not going to say that I don't know. And if that's the case, it's shameful. I wish that from my standpoint, I'm in a position where the only thing I can really say is I don't agree with that. I don't like it. But I do know that there's maliciousness that goes on in all of it. There's bad castings. What can I say, man? In every facet. I don't just say it about one particular thing. Now, I'm a very patriotic man. I'm proud of my country, and I think we strive to do a good job, the percentage of people. But you can't judge a whole of society by their representation or their officials that's in the hierarchy. You can't do that because they're not representing everybody. They're clearly one side or the other, and that's not representation. They don't even, that's that's why I say that I don't doubt none of that crap. I don't doubt none of it. I'm sure that there's some wickedness behind it in some sort of way. In some sort of way. On the people, the person, the individual person, not the entity, and not the entity in a whole, the people within it. Anytime you put that many souls together, that many people together, you know that there's going to be malicious intent, and it's usually going to be about money, power. You give it, like some of these people that I see that represent us, the reason they act the way that they act is because they were probably the kid that was given wedgies and, teased in school and never had any real say over anything. And then, they somehow landed in an election and was elevated to a position where now it's all about viral videos and the catchphrase of the day. And, that's not representation, guys. That's not representation on any part in any country. Brother Gen X, man, good coffee, good vibes. Me and my boy got to go over here next door and finish that ramp system and little deck for Courtney's mama. I was giving him till about 9:30 to let him kind of just sleep in a little bit this morning. But he's my help. I worked over there day before and got the ramp worked out. I had to come down and make a few turns in it and everything, but yeah, we about got it worked out. Yeah, I feel you. Well, and I mean, hey, I think drain the swamp meant exactly that in some ways. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm saying your name right, Salamanca. I'm not trying to mispronounce it, but I think I'm saying it right. But um, yeah, the next time when your president say he's going for the cartel, he doesn't mean that they just going for the government that is not listening to their demands like Venezuela. They just want their resources. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? Drain the swamp. I think all the corruption needs to be gone from all the. I wish it could be that way for all those. Uh, but I'm just afraid that's not an option. You're gonna have to take and do the best you can with what you got. I think, and I know in my little world where I come from, there ain't no real violence. There ain't nobody hating on nobody. Everybody kind of just gets along and hangs out. And if you don't like somebody, just kind of don't hang out with them. But I don't see a bunch of craziness, man. There ain't nobody hating on nobody. Shoot, everybody's poor. Everybody's trying to get by, and I don't mean money poor. I mean everybody's got things, woes. They got debts. They got things they're trying to take care of. They got stuff that they feel out of control about, and everything. And I think that's where it starts with all countries, all people, all politics is we can't start by name calling. We can't start by placing these judgments on each other. We have to find where is it that we do agree. And then start from there branching out with the things we don't agree on. But when you start a conversation out by name calling or you start a conversation out by blanket statements of these negative names and negative things about it. As soon as you start with that, people's ears close. You're not in a negotiating stance at that point. Now we're in an argument or now we're in a fuss. And that's what I see happening, like a big soap opera in some ways with all of it. Just a bunch of drama, bunch of people trying to catch the next viral video or TikTok moment, which, in their life, in their personal life, I get that. But in that capacity, it shouldn't be about that. It should be about what deals are you trying to make for your people to make their life better. I did announce my campaign as you were aware of yesterday. I all money raised was by the candidate, me. A lot of it was on the EBT card, and I did take off several bags of pop cans. It's got me a long ways. Still got a few dollars left to throw into some, different stuff. So, we're in it to win it, man. But yeah, oh, you got a cabinet seat, man. Oh, you got a cabinet seat. Yeah, you're already at the table, bro. You're already at the table, man. Indeed. Yeah, I don't you wish that though, Clint, for real, like that somebody would. I mean, all I want is just like just somebody in there that makes me feel like they're not trying to be. I just want to feel like that. You got to start with your if I put it like this. I can't offer to buy my neighbors who may need groceries if I haven't bought groceries for my home first. It starts with my house. I got a wife, a kid, and me to feed. So me and my wife can't go offer to buy another family groceries until we fed our family. Well, you just keep taking that on to a bigger circle, and you say, okay, well, if I'm the president of this country, then I have got to make sure that my house is in order. And then all the other places we can start reaching out to and helping. And those places have to understand that. I mean, it's a harsh reality, but that's the truth. I can't go next door and offer my neighbors who may need groceries if I haven't bought groceries for my house. I can offer to share, but I can't offer to buy their groceries. And it starts at home, man. I just want to see, but I want to see it from for everybody's country. But in my country, the United States, that's all I want. It's their representatives. Even if you're the president, you are not God. You're a president. You're the top representative. We the people still ultimately have a say through the ballot box. Supposed to. It's the way it's supposed to work. But you know. And we're going to make voting in person to me. Like if you want to vote for me, we'll set up a booth and we'll just line the world up, and they just come on through. You don't have to have. You just have to have. You just come see me and just write your vote in. We do write-ins. It's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll get you a good seat, man. We'll get you. You can pretty much make your own title, Clint. As far as I'm concerned, you just let me know what the title is, and we'll get her scribbled up. And there ain't no auto penning around here. We don't play games with that. Ain't getting my signature like that. I like these kind of conversations, though, man. I don't mind. I don't mind different people. I don't mind the different views on things, and I just encourage myself in my own life that when I call myself doing research or having something to say, then that if I have something to speak on, then it's probably because I have eyes and hands and an ability to make a 100% judgment, or I just have an opinion and I make it known that it's just my opinion because I haven't verified it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I stand with everything. If somebody says something about my buddy, well, I don't go telling everybody else about what that person said about my buddy or about that my buddy did this or my buddy did that. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I don't know what the hell he did. I don't care. I ain't gonna go repeating that nonsense. And, I didn't witness no. I don't know nothing about that. Matter of fact, even if I did witness, it ain't on me saying nothing. Hey, so I built auto pins. What you know about? I don't, dude. I just start. I mean, I knew about the auto pin. I knew that when people wrote in for the president to write them back and all this, that if they did, that was auto pinned and that kind of stuff. But I didn't know that it was used the way that it was used, Joe. That's not right. If you're not coherent enough and able to multitask enough as president of the United States to at least put eyes on the pardons that you're doing, you're letting people out of jail. You might be letting some heinous piece of garbage out. And I don't care who brings me the request. I don't care what their name is. You're asking me to sign this document letting this person out that was found to be suitable to throw them in the jailhouse. Well, now let me read what we got going on here, and if I got questions, I'll ask. And before I give you my signature on this, I mean, I just don't see the I don't like the way that that's crazy, man, to be able to just have people, signing the president's name, not just somebody else's name. I don't care if somebody else signs my name. Last time my identity got stolen, my credit score went up. So I mean, shit, it was a win-win, I guess. Uh, but That's cool that you built auto pens, man. I didn't even know that that was like a huge. I thought that, like, who else uses auto pens? Is there that many important people out there? I think the last time I signed my name was on a. When was the last time I actually signed my signature? I ain't. Yeah, automated signature technology or SigTech. Built auto pens here in Northern Virginia. I built and painted the bodies of 'em. No doubt, dude. That's crazy. I didn't even know that there was an industry around that, man. Like in my mind, I'm thinking like, how many people need a like? I won't like that's pretty important, ain't it? I'm trying to think of the last time I signed my damn signature, man. And there's people out there that need an auto pen. Are they afraid of carpal tunnel? Is are they signing that many? Like, whatever happened to a stamp? Huh. I didn't know there was that many people. Fortune 500 people in select. Huh. Hmm. Well, I hope I need one of them auto pens one day. I'll get me two. Huh. Hey, honey.
Yeah.
Do you know that there was a whole industry around auto pens?
No.
You do now. You're welcome. Little piece of knowledge from Brother Clint. He shared that with the world. He worked building them.
I don't have enough clout to sign my name today.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, I don't even remember last time like, I'd hate to carry that thing in the tax office. They'd be mad as hell, wouldn't it? I'd be like, Miss Charity, we're going to have to clear this table off so I can set my auto pen up. I did service for him a few times when the service guy was out. So I met Jimmy and Rosalind Carter to service theirs. Boomer Science and Dixie Chicks, Bill Clinton. No doubt, man. No doubt. See, I get it. I get it. Like that, I guess that would be a time that somebody needed something like that. But, well, that's all right, man. I mean, huh? Well, that's all right. I mean, that's all right. I'm gonna get me one of them auto pens one of these days. That way I'll get to sign me a lot of stuff. Fortune 500 CEOs had them for the secretary to sign, say 1,000. Okay, I was thinking like these days a lot of it would be like digital stuff, but like through the thing. That's how in my mind I was thinking it, but I guess there's a time that you need that you need a physical signature, man. I just think it'd be awesome to have one here on my Resolute, man. Get the craftsman to come in and do some stuff here and probably finish cleaning it, and then I'll be pretty well ready. But if I do get elected, I'm not going to Washington. I'm not going there. I don't like that old big house. There's a lot of there's a lot of things happened there. I'm getting me a double wide. I'm gonna get it parked right out here. That can be the new west wing because I am kindly west of Washington quite a bit, and I feel like it would make perfect sense. A lot less traffic. Of course, there'd be a lot more traffic if because cabinet members need to get here. We get everybody a diesel truck, 4-wheel drive. You can go figure out what bells and whistles you want. We'll talk about all that once we get there. We don't want to get ahead of the. We got a whole campaign to run, so we don't want to get out over our skis. We want to make sure we stay. Well, this was in the late '90s when I moved back from there. Okay, yeah, because some things may have changed, like as far as being able to, you know, sit like with like I was thinking like once you said it, I was thinking like people with big companies that had 1,000 paychecks to write, or something like a CEO, like you were talking about, and or somebody like that. That makes perfect sense. But then these days, they also have the ability to do some type of digital, some type, like how you do on your phone when you whatever, that kind of thing. Hey, what's up, brother Victor? Good to see you. Good morning. Good vibes. Good coffee, man. Just a quick hangout. Appreciate you coming through. He said, "Happy sunrise, guy and friend." Absolutely happy sunrise, man. Supposed to be pretty today. Yeah, I don't even know if they exist anymore. They was located beside Dulles Airport when I worked there. Yeah, okay. I never even knew. Like I say, until you said there was an industry around it. I asked Courtney if she knew. She didn't know either. I didn't even know there was an industry around it. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, man, good to see you, brother Victor. Thank you. Yeah, I'm running for 2028. I announced my campaign yesterday. It hasn't gained any traction right yet. But I believe that persistency, consistency is key. And beyond that, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I do have I do have the desk already, and I know how to do Zoom calls and stuff, and I can get a Twitter account. You know what I mean? And Clint knows about the auto pen if I need one, and I feel like I've got my cabinet members pretty well lined out. Then I've got a few other things in place too. I don't want to get out over my skis or anything, but yeah, I figured why not? Everybody else can run. I might as well run too. We'll create some change here too. Wouldn't that be something? I would love to do. I would love to have people come on that truly want to debate, but the only rule would be you cannot name call. You cannot insinuate white supremacist, racist, fascist. You can't start doing that. We have to do. Let's talk. Let's talk turkey. Let's talk real. You know what I mean? Like point for point. Let's go with that. No name calling though. And I believe you'd have a lot of them tongue tied just by that. Just by taking that one rule and saying you can't call nobody any kind of name of any sort. We have to talk facts, and we have to talk numbers, and we have to talk constituencies. I believe you'd tongue tie 99% of them. I believe that they would have not much to say after you took the name calling and the innuendos. After you took that rule and you applied that rule, you would shut a lot of them up. They wouldn't have nothing to say. And be Secretary of Agriculture and broccoli. Yes, that's a perfect title. I feel like it rolls off the tongue well. It's easy to promote. It makes obvious sense. I feel like you're on to something right there. If you end up having a cabinet position in charge of National Zen, why wouldn't we? I thought everybody should have that. Absolutely, indeed. Absolutely, indeed. We need let's see, end up having a cabinet position in charge of National Zen Czar. I just love the Z. So we can do National Zen Czar. I know that it's CZAR. I get that. But I just like the Z part. So we'll go with that because it sounds good. And does have it. Yeah, I'm in, man. I'm in. But I really feel that way. Like if you had a true debate with somebody, like if you had a podcast situation where somebody wanted to come on and truly talk civil with one another. Let's no name calling. Let's not start. You don't start. You as soon as you start with that, it's not a conversation no more. It's now a power struggle. I don't need no power struggle. Man, every peeing contest I ever got into, I wound up peeing into the wind and got it all over me. So it's like, I'm out of the peeing contest part. But if you want to come on and talk facts, talk real, and the one rule is no name calling, I feel like you would tongue tie 99% of them. I honestly do feel that way. It says it does kind of have a little bit of a Russian ring to it, doesn't it? You know, but I thought it was, let's see. I don't know. Yeah, this is what I say. If you're going to be a cabinet member, you ought to at least be able to come up with a darn fine name for yourself, huh? I mean, if I'm going to be president, I'm going to have a lot of stuff to worry about. So you get your name worked out, and then we'll get the other stuff figured out. Because I'm going to have a lot of auto penning and tweeting and meeting with other important people, and wearing a suit and stuff, and then have some dudes drive me around, fly around, go see people, and that's a lot. It's a lot because that's all over the world. We're not talking, it's a lot. Yeah, that guy for president. Oh Lord, I'm the last thing those people would want because common sense would eat them alive, and I think that's what's happening to themselves right now. They're eating themselves. What the Quack. Good vibes for What the Quack. I always promised every time that I seen What the Quack in the house, I was going to make sure that I sent up always good vibes for What the Quack. Good to have you here. I'm glad to have you stopping in. We've just been having a random rant. Had some cool people come in making some comments, and I don't mind. American. I would vote too if I was American. Hey, it's like this, man. Nothing's perfect. And I obviously can see where there's things that could be different, but it starts with true justice, and that's what separates the United States from other countries is, Lady Justice is supposed to be set up to be blind. And that's the part that I have seen go awry in the past decade. They've tried real hard to take the blinders off of that and to take common people, that it's like you automatically see this. It's like the new Hollywood. Like our politics in some ways has become the new Hollywood. That's your ticket to stardom. Is when you get elected to be a representative, somehow everything you pontificate on or your feeling somehow supposed to be how everybody in your district feels. That's bullcrap. Because even in my little town, if I'm representing this little town, I'm going to have some sway because there's a lot of different people in my little town. There ain't people just like me. There ain't people just like my wife. There ain't people just like my mom and dad. There's all sorts of people. So it's like that's where I've seen the true things go wrong is like, first and foremost, you've tried to take the blindfold off of Lady Justice, which is where the real separation for us begins. That's where the true power of the people gets taken away. And then you skew the representatives, you skew representation of people. You have skewed it into a arena of becoming the next superstar or the next viral thing. And somehow just because you got elected into that position, you are now allowed to think for the 10,000 people or 50,000 people that you represent in your community. And that's just not true. Your feelings don't matter. Your feelings matter to your friends. Your feelings matter to your psychiatrist. Your feelings don't matter to me as a representative of mine. Your representation matters to me, of everybody. And I get that you're not going to be able to go 100% for me and 100% for them and 100% for them. You can't do that. You're representing everybody. And that's where I see that the true failure in the system starts. Is it's a way to enrich themselves. They go from being poor people in a community, barely getting by, toe stumped from being on food stamps and welfare themselves. They get elevated to a position, and now somehow they can pontificate on the way the entire world needs to run, and it's this way or no way. Horse crap. Let's see. Let me see what truth. What the quack says. Let me pull it up. I can't see it no better. I'm vertical. I really like how it is in Switzerland with free healthcare, almost no homeless, help for everyone. But we are small. Switzerland is 16 times smaller than Texas. I encourage you, what the quack. I love that statement, and I don't know. Have a great day, guy. Victor, thank you. He said, "Have a great day, guy. Time for me to make the donuts." Absolutely, absolutely. Have a great day, brother. Number 1,000. First person I got to take from 999 as their subs to 1,000, man. So appreciate you being here, man. Thank you very much, man. But what the quack, I read that statement and I can't help but think. Now, I haven't personally done any research, so I'm just throwing a blanket comment out, and you may already know the answer. But as soon as I see that, I think, okay, well, what are they doing differently? And I would be willing to bet that they're taking care of theirs first before they send out to everyone else. I bet the numbers would show that. I don't know if that's true. That's just a common guess, but that's what I would think. Gone back for a couple minutes. Got to cut the lawn. Eating Popeyes, rice and beans. That's right, and chicken. So delicious. Awesome. Enjoy, Miss Steph. Thanks for stopping back in. You still playing on this phone, Hoss. And meditation time. Thank you, brother Clint. Thank you, man. I understand. I understand. What the quack? Yeah. Yeah. When I like I said before you come into the comment section, we were talking about this, and I look at things. I try to dumb it down as much as I can for myself because I'm not overly smart. So I look at it from this way. My wife and I, as much as we would love to enjoy the privilege, I can't go offer my neighbor to buy their groceries if I haven't bought groceries for my house first. And I believe that starts with our countries. I believe it's silly to have a country of people in any country and see wasteful money being spent in any country and people in need in that country. That's not right. That's not right. That's why, for those of us that are recovering drug addicts, and I don't mind at all to say that, I'm recovered from that and I'm over it and I'm past it, but I stole so much from my family. I took care of that a lot of times and played games with trying to take care of what I really should have been taken care of. And that's wasteful, disgraceful, and I hate that. Well, I feel the same way about the things I see going on in our countries. All countries have waste, but in my country, I see it. A lot of waste, lot of things going out before things in are took care of, and that's where it starts. Um, Simple. It's pretty simple. My pay got cut by about $15,000, and I was wondering why I'm struggling, and it's because my pay is being cut and bills have increased. Absolutely. Absolutely. Power trends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Indeed. Indeed, it does, brother AB. Good to see you. Good morning. Good vibes, man. Getting ready to go finish this deck out this morning. Me and my son are doing my mother-in-law's deck and a ramp coming off. Wanted to just jump on and do a quick live for everybody that's in here. I encourage you to go support at Guy and Shine. That's where we're going to be. We're going to be sharing to all of our channels, but all the community is going to be able to gather together in the comments and on the same page. So I would encourage you to come over and support. You know, it's at Guy and Shine. If I was good enough, I'd share the link. I'm not. I don't have brother Tommy in the house, but it's at Guy and Shine with a little sweet tea. We're kind of teaming up on things and going to try to step our game up just a little bit and be able to have all of our community gather in one area, and that's just really cool. So yeah, it's at Guy and Shine. You can find us there. You'll see our pretty picture on the banner. You won't be able to miss it, but I would encourage you there. But yeah, man, that's been the trend, Miss Steph, is like my dad's 83 years old, so he can remember starting out at $1 an hour. And the amount of a vehicle and all this kind of stuff. And I've heard many times, him and mom tells the story of buying, I can't remember exactly what kind of car it was, but I think it was like $2,800 or something like that, whenever it was that they bought it. Brand new. And way back in the day. And at that time they wasn't making much money. At that time it was good money, but when you think about it from where we're at now, it wasn't much. But now you look, now it's went up by chump change as far as our wages have gone. But look how much that car now, you go buy a new car, would cost you. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to have that much down on it in order to finance it. Oh, hey, thank you, brother Clint. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you doing that. I don't know how people under 65,000 are raising a family. Hey, you know what's funny, Miss Steph, is you say that, and I think I'd have to look this up, and I don't like to speak out of turn, but I think like the median household income, like here in our general area, is like under $30,000 a year, and that's why I say, like, man, I'm in an area where there truly is people that like you look at a house from the outside and you're like, oh, it's abandoned and there'll be a family living in it. Like, there is some poor people. There's older folks and people that live on like $600 a month. No kidding. With, to get some food stamps and stuff. And you wonder why there's drug addiction and alcoholism and, it's sad, and thievery, it's sad, and it's not any like one particular fault of the person's. It's like, you have when you have these boom and bust situations, then you suck people into an area, or you draw people in or keep them in, and then when that just up and rolls out, such as the coal industries, man, that just it just sent a shockwave through this part of the area, man. I mean, it's crazy. I'm just fixing up my car, and I'm going to try and learn how to do my brakes because they wanted over 400 just for brake pad. Yeah, my mine and my wife's truck, same situation. $2,500 for all brake as lines, calipers, rotors, pads. And I was like, dude, we can't afford that right now. Like, I can't come out of my pocket with $2,500 just to give to them. I wish I was in a position I could afford to just pay that, but I can't. I can't do that. Me and my wife can't do that. I used to be on food stamps and all that. It's so hard. Amazon helped me get me a career. That's such a blessing, Miss Steph, that you can see it. You can see it. Um, you know, it people don't realize that, man, you're just a toe stump from being hungry. I don't care how much weight you got on you. You miss a meal for a day, and that hunger pain sets in. And then, as a mom or a dad or, whatever, then not only that hunger pain sets in, but now you've got mouths to feed. And, that stressful. It's stressful. And I was part of the system and thankful for childcare, but I strive to take credit because it's a system of being a slave to a lender. Indeed, it is. And they trap you into this cycle of thinking that you can't do no better. And if you do any better, you're going to lose the little bit of help that you have. And I see fixes for getting people off of certain disability checks. I see fixes for getting people off of certain social service checks, SSI, things like that. I see solutions. I see that you could inspire. So I'm not saying everyone. There's some that's on them and going to stay on them, and they're happy with that. So be it. Your life, live it. But there is some that if you were to take them under your wing or allow them to spread their wings and not hold the risk of losing the little bit of help that they have right out the rip, and use the chance of inspiration of getting them in something that could lift them up and see that, oh man, I can do so much better. I think we could solve the problem. I think we could cut a big portion of people that's reliant and people that's living from paycheck to paycheck, mouth, hand to mouth. I think with a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of, foresight in what that person's feeling, because I guarantee if you ask 100 people that's on a true disability check because they have something that keeps them from being able to do their regular job, or that there is a chronic illness involved, and then you hold like a carrot on a stick their income or the amount you can make on that while on that, you hold that over their head in fear of, well, what if I do good for a few months and then all of a sudden I get sick again for a while? Okay, well, now I'm gonna have to go back through the process of trying to get help again, which in a couple months could really mean the difference between losing a car, losing a payment, getting behind on your electric bill. And I think if we stopped using that as a way to thump somebody's head and use inspiration to get, to show people that maybe there is something else for you, and we're gonna help inspire you to see that. Just think that we could help some people off, man. Thank God for ramen and mac and cheese, amen. Because they loved it and forget about fast food. And when holidays rolled around, it was churches that were the reason we had food like so many. We have to build into the next generation, truly help them. Indeed, I agree with that. I agree with that. And you have to be, I just feel like that at the situation that we arrive in right now, the fix has to start with inspiring people. It has to start with making that person feel inspired that they can, not be beat on or suggested that they can't. Inspire that person. Give them a reason to see that they can do better. There's things that we can do. Sometimes it's just like as a parent. You don't say no to your kid to be mean. You say no to your kid because you love them. You take things from them because you love them, not because you're trying to punish them. It's because you're trying to teach them. And sometimes you have to create uncomfortable moments in their life and let them live through that for them to understand the lesson that was behind it and that there was a better in it. Well, I think that's the same with people that are stuck in that circle of month to month, whatever, I think that there's a chance that you could get a big percentage of them inspired to do better by giving them that chance to be inspired. We have enough ability in our communities to take some of these people under our wing and be took under a wing and shown something without the dangle of, you know, hey, if you got to keep dollar for dollar, or you're going to take this much from me if I do this much, and it's like, dude, get yourself in a real pickle. People have to get up on the inside, and it definitely is a miracle what encouragement can do. Yeah, I agree. And I also, Miss Steph, I believe it starts with understanding there's definitely a higher power. It's a lot bigger than us. And as soon as we understand that we are not the big thing, there's definitely something bigger than us. I think the sooner that we understand that, I don't care what you call it. I don't get into that. Names for everything. I call it Jesus. You can call it spirit. You can call it the world, whatever you want. Names are mundane. But sooner we realize there's something bigger than us out there, the better off we are. Which is too much. Even my oldest son, I had to put my foot down and tell him, you got to walk day by day. Yeah, it's not given. I can help a little bit, but not. It's definitely a day by day. It's definitely a day by day. But I think, too, that like I've said it many times on my live stream, and I know it's redundant, but man, my day, first thing in the morning, I'm one of these people that I reach it's like a physical crossroad, or not physical, but a mental crossroad for me. If I ain't careful, I can start down a rabbit hole of some old bull crap and wind up down, like 2 hours into my day on some old something that like I can't even do nothing about. Or I can just start my day off like I try to just pet my little dog, be happy, get my coffee made. I got a little routine that gets my brain kind of clicked into good vibes, man. I mean, I got a little spot, home, got a wife, got a couple kids, mom, dad, sister. It's like, okay, let's start naming off the good, and then it kind of sets my brain into motion for me. And it's a crossroads, man, every day, every day. Because if I'm not careful, I can send myself into a negative spot, and I don't like that zone. Because the problem is I can get comfortable in it. I can get comfortable. Man, if you want to be around an old Debbie Downer and talk some smack, now I'm that guy if I want to go down that road. But in the end, it just makes me unhappy to even feel that. Like, I don't get mad. I try not to get mad about things just because it's like I'm not wasting my time on something I can't do nothing about, offer rent-free space in my head to something that don't deserve it. But we all do that. But my fight is in it's starting. I feel like starting your day off in a good way, whatever that way is. For me, it's a cup of coffee, enjoying my little crew and my little dog, and getting ready to go do something for the day. That's simple. That's simple. Nothing real elaborate in it. Well, my guys, my friends, my gals, I appreciate y'all being here. I know this was just a rant session. I was just hanging out, wanting to say hi to everybody, but getting ready to go mess with this deck next door. Me and my kid. Good chance for him to learn how to do a few little things. Good chance to get to work with him and everything. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It is vital to filter what we watch, listen, and know, touch, because it can do more than we realize, and the mind is the most important. I agree with that. Yeah, yeah, indeed. What time do you do that, Clint? because I got oh yeah, I got We Be Jamming tonight at 9. Um oh yeah, great. Thank you for being here, Miss Steph. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. You have an outstanding weekend. I might be on throughout the weekend if you get a chance, stop in, say hi or whatever. But we'll be back Monday, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, and we're gonna you'll be able to find it on this channel, Shine's channel, Tommy's channel, but everybody's gonna be gathering at Guy and Shine. That'll be where everybody be in the same chat. Everybody won't have split channels to try to be going back and forth on. So, oh yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. I'll be there. Because I'll be done with Big Jack by that time, and then I can just jump on over with you guys. I might be a couple minutes behind or something, but I can definitely do that, man. That'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. That would be cool. Yeah, but Miss Steph, it starts with like what we ingest, man. If you keep listening to the same stuff, same, whether it be positive or negative, you keep listening to that over and over and over, eventually you're gonna kind of fall into that. It's kind of like working with someone that's real negative all the time. Ain't nothing will drag you down anymore throughout your day than some old blowhard that's wanting to crap and moan about everything. And it's like, man, shut up. We're all hot. We're all cold. All of our wives get mad at us. Shut up. Get to work. Anyway, I may wear my hey, I got my tinfoil hat too. I don't think I won't pimp the tinfoil hat. Make you famous. I swear, every time I think about that, Brother Desi crosses my mind. Man, he's been such a super supporter. I got to do something special for him. Just been an outstanding community member, community leader, just a good dude all the way around. But it was a tinfoil hat little thing that he laughed at in one of my videos a long time ago, and that's funny how, I don't know, it kind of, I don't know, it just kind of brought two fellas together to laugh at something, man. It was pretty cool. So Brother Clint, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'll definitely be there, man. If yeah, send me the link whenever, if whatever. Yeah, man. All right, guys, good vibes. I appreciate you guys, man. If, like I say, 11 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now, Eastern Standard Time, but you'll be able to find it on all the regular channels, but everybody will be able will be in the chat at Guy and Shine. So I encourage you to come over to that one channel so that you can be with everybody. Everybody can hang out and not have to try to dance back and forth. But good vibes, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. But I will see you tonight on Big Jack. If you have a chance to come by, Big Jack Story Time. We be jamming. Me and Sean will be there, and numerous other artists. And then at the Experiment tonight at 11. Yeah, tonight at 11 with Brother Clint, Sister Amina. Yeah, if you got the chance, please come by and support us. We would appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Appreciate it. Helps us out. So y'all go on live with other channel. Yeah, it's my understanding from what Tommy told me was like once it gets cleared through StreamYard and all that kind of stuff, that we'll be able to. And it makes the most sense. I want the community to be able to be everybody be in the same chat, same everything. And then of course, we all have our separate channels as well. But yeah. That's the intentions, man. Unless it's something that's not cleared or for whatever reason can't. But eventually, even if we can't, whatever, we're gonna figure it out so that everybody can be in the same channel, same all that. But I think we've got it pretty well worked out. You know, and then there's going to be kinks in the situation and all that, I'm sure. But I liked your and Jimenez's idea with that, with doing the shared channel, just because it makes most sense with our chat and everything. That that made sense to me. So it makes perfect sense. And kind of feel more comfortable with the sit. I at first I wasn't ready to even try nothing else like that, man. It's just too much. But now it's not seeming so tough. It's not seeming so hard. So it'll be pretty cool, man. But yeah, good vibes, everybody. I hope you have a good Saturday, man. I hate to run, but I got to go and mess with this little deck over here for the day and see how far we can get with it. But I hope y'all have a great day. Yeah, man. Enjoy the weather yourself, brother Clint. I'll see you later on tonight, man. You know, have a good day, man. Enjoy this weather. Good morning, good vibes, good coffee. I hope you guys have a great day, man. I'll see you. Have an outstanding Labor Day, guys. Let's see. All right, my friends. Be good.